MCR family? Sorry to break it to you again, but we have more news about the Ruiz Joshua lawsuit, rematch, all of that fun debacle and stories that's just been developing the last 6 hours, it seems. But per Mike Coppinger, sources, Matchroom Eddie Hearn began legal process last week toward an injunction along with damages to enforce Ruiz Joshua rematch in Saudi Arabia. Powerhouse firm Debevoise and Plimpton was retained. Lawsuit filed yesterday in New York after agreement reached. Suit withdrawn today. So, the lawsuit that's been breaking the Twitter sphere and just obviously boxing social media as a whole, just the boxing sphere as a whole, that's been withdrawn today because they reached the agreement. And I just wanted to give out more details on the agreement because when we discussed this part of the breaking news yesterday on our Patreon show, Boxing Banter, check that out, patreon.com/Mixed Combat Radio. We really didn't know a lot of the details to the new agreement for the rematch of Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz. So let's sort of get to some of those sort of particulars in the new deal per Dan Rayfield on just actually some really interesting parts of it. According to the source, Hearn has made Ruiz happier in terms of money, including giving him the Mexican television rights for the bout. Also, the source also said that the camps agreed to have VADA, widely considered the gold standard in drug testing, and I wouldn't say that, oversee random drug testing for the bout. VADA also handled drug testing for the first fight. Because Saudi Arabia does not have a true athletic commission with experience regulating professional boxing, another one of the aspects agreed to was that representatives from a United States Athletic Commission to be determined will be on hand to assist the Saudis in regulating the bout and to make sure normal championship protocol is followed, the source said. They also agreed that the referee and judging panel will need to have at least 40 world title fights of experience to be considered for appointment, the source told ESPN. First off, just key sort of points in the agreement that I think were probably agreed upon that led to this lawsuit being avoided. When I think that at the very worst, it could have financially ruined Andy Ruiz in some aspect, but at the very least, it would just push back this fight to at least a year away from now, and on top of that, maybe push both men away from fighting, period, for a year. And that was just a route that I think we could have avoided, and I'm happily we did avoid. It seems like Ruiz got exactly what he wanted. I think the Mexican TV rights is a huge, not only sort of prideful clause to have in the contract that he gets the Mexican TV rights because he's the Mexican heavyweight champion, but on top of that, the financial sort of compensation you're going to get from the Mexican TV rights, which are probably going to be in the tens of millions of views. We saw with Canelo Triple G, I'm trying to remember, I think on one channel on Azteca TV, it did like 18 million views live. So if this fight does even a quarter of that, you're still talking about a drastically larger than market sort of standard viewership for a fight, and I expect him to get a pretty penny from it. On top of that, obviously, just getting a higher compensation. Mike Coppinger later added to his article that the $8 million original sort of guarantee that he had in the first fight was increased to $10 million in this fight. I didn't see that as a lot. It may be a 25% increase from his original purse, but it just didn't seem a lot. However, with these other added aspects to the contract, I can see why, A, the lawsuit was avoided, and B, why we now have a agreed upon Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua rematch. Also, Dan Rayfield later reported today and doubled down that no, the rematch is going on, that this is not going to affect it. So, guys, it seems like this really weird lawsuit we had in the last 12 hours that we've heard about is gone. It seems like we're going ahead with the rematch. And on top of that, it does seem like we're getting some added regulation into a bout where there's not a lot of regulation to be had. And I'm not going to wax on about maybe Saudi Arabia as a whole and how this is sports washing for a number of things. However, just from a pure regulatory side of it for this event, there wasn't any. And now there at least is some. So that is a positive, and I think adding the U.S. Commission is probably another huge thing that probably led Andy Ruiz to be accepting of this location. But leave a comment down below, guys, what you think with this news. The lawsuit is withdrawn. This new stipulations in the agreement. Give me your thoughts on the new and improved Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua 2 rematch, unfortunately, in Saudi Arabia. Leave a comment down below. Hit the like button. Share this video. Find me, Matt Hunter, MCR, all platforms. Peace.